Have you ever wondered about the modern dynamics of Indian politics? In the bustling democracy of India, the political landscape is as vibrant and diverse as the nation itself. The current state of affairs is characterized by a mix of victories, defeats, and groundbreaking reforms. One of the most significant recent developments is the outcome of the Karnataka state elections. The Congress Party, one of the oldest political entities in the country, managed a resounding victory over the Bharatiya Janata Party, or BJP, led by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The Congress scooped up 135 out of 224 seats, a result that's not just a number, but a statement. This victory didn't happen in a vacuum. It was fueled by a constellation of factors. The Congress's success can be attributed to local factors, a united leadership, and a strong focus on governance issues. The party's approach to tackling the concerns of the people and the unity they demonstrated proved to be a winning combination. On the other hand, the BJP's defeat was pinned on a variety of issues. Misgovernance, infighting, and divisive politics were the main culprits. Controversial laws targeting Muslims and corruption allegations also played a part in their downfall. This shift in power doesn't just affect Karnataka. It has a ripple effect on the national stage, offering a morale boost for the opposition. It's a reminder that political landscapes can be reshaped, that victories can be earned, and defeats can be lessons. The Karnataka election outcome has reshaped the political landscape, giving the opposition a morale boost. Political vendettas and freedom of speech have become the center of debate in the Indian political sphere. This statement rings particularly true in the case of Rahul Gandhi, the prominent opposition leader who was recently disqualified from parliament. This incident was not a simple political misstep. Instead, it was the result of a defamation conviction related to none other than the Prime Minister, Narendra Modi. This conviction, however, has sparked a firestorm of controversy and discussion, pulling the spotlight onto the perceived freedom of speech within India's political arena. What makes this event significant is not just the disqualification of a leading political figure, but the ripple effects it has caused within the opposition. Opposition leaders have been quick to voice their dismay, accusing the Modi government of undermining democracy. The disqualification, they argue, is less about the defamation case and more about silencing dissent. And when dissent is silenced, they argue democracy itself is at risk. In the face of such accusations, the Modi government has found itself in a precarious position. On one hand, it maintains that the defamation conviction was just and necessary. On the other, it must contend with accusations of political vendettas and a perceived attack on freedom of speech. This incident has also raised concerns about how such a significant political event might affect the broader Indian political sphere. The disqualification of a key opposition figure could potentially tilt the balance of power, further consolidating the ruling party's hold on parliament. In the midst of these debates and discussions, one thing remains clear. The disqualification of Rahul Gandhi has not just made headlines, it has also stirred up a storm in Indian politics. As the dust settles, the Indian political landscape might be forever altered, with implications that could reach far beyond the walls of the parliament. The disqualification of Rahul Gandhi has indeed stirred up a storm in Indian politics. As we continue to explore the current state of Indian politics, this storm is one we will keep a close eye on. In the midst of political turbulence, India takes a significant stride towards gender equality. This stride comes in the form of the Women's Reservation Bill, introduced by none other than Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The bill, which has been a topic of discussion for over 27 years, finally made its way through the lower and upper houses and now awaits the president's signature. The Women's Reservation Bill is a beacon of hope for many, as it aims to reserve 1/3 of seats in the lower house and state legislative assemblies for women. This goal is not just about numbers or quotas, but about creating a more representative democracy. It's about ensuring that women's voices are heard in decision-making bodies and countering the glaring gender disparity in India's political landscape. Indeed, the transformative potential of this legislation cannot be overstated. If implemented successfully, it could incentivize political parties to be more gender inclusive and create a political environment where women are not just spectators, but active participants and leaders. However, like any significant reform, the Women's Reservation Bill faces its own set of challenges. One major hurdle is the traditionally low success rate of women in elections. But proponents of the bill argue that this is precisely why the bill is necessary, to level the playing field and give women a fair chance to compete. The bill's passage comes at a pivotal time, ahead of the next general elections. It has sparked heated debates among political parties, with each trying to claim credit for this historic piece of legislation. But beyond the political posturing lies a much larger narrative, that of a country trying to break free from the shackles of gender inequality. The Women's Reservation Bill promises to reshape India's political future, making it more inclusive and representative. It may be just one step on a long journey towards gender equality, but it is a significant one nonetheless. The success of this bill will hinge on how it is implemented in the coming years, and the impact it has on the lives of millions of women across India. With the changing dynamics of Indian politics, what does this mean for the 2024 general elections? Let's delve deeper. The Congress Party's recent victory in Karnataka has certainly been a morale boost for the opposition, signaling potential chinks in the ruling BJP's political armor. This victory, however, was largely fueled by local factors and a united leadership focusing on governance issues. While it's an important marker, it's not necessarily a definitive forecast of the 2024 national elections. As we've seen, local state elections can swing differently from national sentiments. Then we have the transformative Women's Reservation Bill. This is a landmark legislation that promises to reserve 1/3 of the seats in the lower house and state legislative assemblies for women. This move is expected to incentivize political parties to be more gender inclusive, potentially altering the political landscape. But will it significantly impact the 2024 elections? It's a question worth pondering. On one hand, the introduction of this bill could lead to a surge of female candidates in the elections, which could lead to a shift in voting patterns. On the other hand, we must remember that women have traditionally had a lower success rate in elections. Plus, the actual impact of the bill will depend on its successful implementation, which is yet to be seen. Furthermore, the disqualification of prominent opposition leader Rahul Gandhi could potentially sway public sentiment. This could either rally support for the opposition or, conversely, strengthen the ruling party's position. In conclusion, while these recent events have stirred up the political waters, their actual impact on the 2024 general elections remains a topic of debate. What we can say is that the political landscape is certainly more complex and nuanced than before. The road to the 2024 general elections is shaping up to be an interesting journey filled with anticipation and uncertainty. The political condition of India is indeed a complex and ever-evolving landscape. Through the course of our discussion, we have traversed the intricate facets of Indian politics, revealing the dynamic interplay between various elements shaping the nation's political scenario. We began with the Congress Party's significant victory in Karnataka's state elections, a triumph fueled by local factors, united leadership, and a focus on governance issues. This win, seen as a morale boost for the opposition, underlined the potential repercussions of misgovernance, infighting, and divisive politics that allegedly marred the BJP's campaign. The political scene took a tumultuous turn with the disqualification of prominent opposition leader Rahul Gandhi from the parliament. This event, resulting from a defamation conviction related to Prime Minister Narendra Modi, sparked heated debates on freedom of speech and allegations of political vendettas. Next, we delved into the transformative introduction of the Women's Reservation Bill. This progressive legislation marks a significant stride towards gender equality, aiming to reserve 1/3 of seats in legislative bodies for women. Despite the challenges, such as women's low success rate in elections, the bill is seen as a potential catalyst for enhanced political empowerment for women. As we look forward to the 2024 general elections, the impact of these events remains to be seen. Although the Karnataka victory has boosted opposition morale, analysts believe it may not significantly influence the national elections. The introduction of the Women's Reservation Bill, however, has the potential to reshape the political landscape, incentivizing parties to be more gender inclusive. While the future of Indian politics remains uncertain, what is clear is that the events of today will undoubtedly shape the political landscape of tomorrow.